it's Micaya. Welcome to Respect, DanceFest Weekly with Micaya and my girl Brandy.
What's up, y'all?
Episode 2.
Episode 2.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Coming at you. We're having fun.
Yeah, this has been fun. I think this is kind of just like the ultimate thing for us both, just to talk to dancers about dance.
Right? I was just saying, like, you know, I get to I have to watch videos, dance videos to get ready. Sorry, I'm working. I'm watching videos, enjoying myself. I'm loving this. I am.
That's homework. Bad homework. Yes. So, we are going to be doing this every week with a different guest from all over the world. And this is going to lead up until November 21st. And that is something, I don't know.
Something, I don't know. Is it the 22nd something? The 22nd San Francisco International Hip Hop Dance Fest. Yes. Say that fast, like 3 times in a row. All right, yes. November 21st, y'all got to get your tickets, sfhiphopdancefest.com. It's going to be new, exciting. I can't wait. You'll see me, Micaya, other folks, lots of special things going on.
Yeah, we've got some live performers that are coming by, and they're going to perform live. And then we have this recorded piece that is happening right now as we speak. It's collaborating, and they're working on something. I'm excited about that. So, yeah, November. It seems like it's far away, but it's going to happen in a minute. So, who is our special guest today?
Okay, so we're so fortunate to have Jason Hill, CEO of Loyalty Dance Team. Okay, so this team was founded in 2007, coming to us by way of Tennessee. So just been in the game for a really long time, performing, competing, killing it. And when I think of Loyalty Dance Team, the words that come to mind, first, high energy, innovative, you know, doing things that other people are like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. That's just like too much for me, right? Driven, persistent, and of course, loyalty, right? How can you not? So we're gonna watch a clip, which is very relevant to what's going on in the news. You know, we got some sad news this weekend, but this will make you feel good. We're gonna watch this clip of Black Panther by Loyalty Dance Team.
All right, welcome, Jason. Hi.
What's up? How you guys doing?
Hey, good.
We are doing good. We are so excited to have you here. Like I said, I've been watching Loyalty Dance Team videos for a couple days straight, and just like getting chills, right? Because y'all just bring it. You bring it. So
thank you.
Very happy to have you here.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. So again, talking about what's going on in our world right now. So, you know, every day we're seeing more coverage of just what's going on in terms of the way that Black people are being treated by the police right now, right? So, and I say more coverage because I want to emphasize that this is not something new, but it's, you know, more people in America are realizing like, oh, this is happening.
Yep.
So, you know, we talked to you about speaking about the experience that you recently had. And so we're humbled for you to be able to share that with us.
Definitely. Appreciate that and the time to talk, because it is definitely a new time, and it's definitely making people more aware. I think the more the technology enhances, so that the coverage of everything also. Like you said earlier, this isn't something new. This has been going on for forever. Recently, I think it was a week or 2 ago, I was actually working because I also, in addition to dance, I work for the state. I help with mental patients and care for them, meds, things like that. And I was transporting a patient, and I realized that my car was being followed by like an unknown truck, and then a second truck, and then a third truck, and then police kind of in assistance just surrounded me. And I was driving, and I was asked to stop in the middle of the street, and I stopped. Then guns were immediately drawn.
Mhm.
Now, understand that I have a mental patient who does not comprehend correctly, or as we would like for him to. So he was unaware of what was going on. They were yelling so many different instructions: stop, hands up, hands out. And I think, in my opinion, this is the cause of so many deaths. We as people are so confused, not just blacks, anybody, to stand up, stand down, open legs, cross, jump, move. And if you do one thing wrong, that's where shots are fired. I think we have to be very, very aware of that, and they definitely need to do a little bit more training on that. But immediately grabbed me, threw me to the ground, put the guns up. If I move, they'll shoot. Completely confused as to what was going on. I was later transported to another parking lot. They separated me, then they drew guns on my patient, who was actually unaware of what's going on. He's mentally disabled, so he's not really sure of what to do, how to do it, open door, closed door. And they arrested him also, and, well, detained, or however you want to take it, and transported him to another parking lot. And once I figured out what was going on, when I was asking, we had officers who were being completely rude. In my opinion, I was being treated as if I was a criminal. And it was a humbling experience to me, because a lot of times you think that people should know who you are, or you've worked hard enough to not even be in a situation like this. And every day you're doing what you're supposed to do. So I mean, you're completely flabbergasted as to what's going on. Not that day. They told me that a older white gentleman, homeless, was asked to cash a random check from a black male. This is what he told the police. So they ran their cameras from the grocery store, which is where I was, and I'm assuming that there was a bank nearby, or however that works. And they ran their cameras and looked for black males that were in the area that day. Well, I was at your local Publix grocery store with my client, and the only picture that they had of me was leaving Publix grocery store in my vehicle, in the rental, actually. And I was leaving the parking lot. That was it. And apparently that was enough information for them. That was a guy. And what we have to stop doing, police, people in general, all black people don't look alike, white people, everybody is not the same. They showed me a lineup of 6 African-American men who look nothing alike. And in my opinion, that's not enough to detain anyone. It's not enough to question anyone if a white man just tells you a black person did it. That's it. A homeless white man just tells you that. You guys are treating me, took everything away from me. I can't make a call. I can't do anything. Guns, completely disrespectful. And I definitely fear for my life. And usually I'm a fearless person. Anybody who knows me know I'm just like, But in today's society, what's going on, you have to imagine the kind of trauma that it is causing for young black men and women. And in an instant, there were a couple of videos that I snuck to try to record, and another young lady that I didn't even know was recording across the street and found me on Facebook. It showed me the incident of how severe it was. You would be shocked that that is what I was pulled over for.
Right.
And they wanted to check my car for bricks of cocaine, which in my opinion had nothing to do with being accused of a white man saying that a black man gave him a check to cash.
Right.
So you're throwing my paperwork all around the car and everything to find nothing. And the reason I allowed the permission to check my car is because, 1, I was in a rental. 2, I had nothing to hide. And 3, I felt like you already were suspicious of me being somebody. So for me to say no would grow even more suspicion and agitate the situation. Not to mention, one of the biggest factors is that I have a mental patient with me. So I didn't want to stress the issue any longer. I had nothing to hide. But I was definitely fearful that maybe if they didn't find something, they could plant something. That days that we're living in. You don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because it makes it hard for a race, meaning white race, black race, because you don't want white people to feel like, well, everybody thinks that we're like this. You don't want black people to feel like, oh, we're all drug, dealers and thugs. You get what I'm saying? And this race war that I believe is brewing is becoming something serious. And if we do not get it under control now, we're going to have a serious problem. And I don't think people are paying attention to it like that. It's becoming more and more of a black and a white thing. And you don't want to be one of those, African Americans who are leaning towards the race card to benefit their situation, because that happens a lot of times. Oh, you're racist, you're racist. But I felt like I had no rights at all. I was stripped of them. You guys gave me no permission to speak. I didn't know what was going on, and you could have done anything to me and people wouldn't have even known, because you, in my opinion, and this is what the chief of police said, it was probable cause.
Right.
And people say, well, sue, and you go and you meet with lawyers, and you're trying to find where the breakdown in communication is. And a lot of times it isn't in pen and paper. There's no compassion for what they're doing. There's no respect for what they're doing. And it's pretty hard to sue against that.
Thank you for sharing that, Jason. I mean, just to, me being a Black woman as well, anytime the police are behind you or anything, like you said, it sounded like it was just these trucks. It's just like, well, what's going to happen? And for me, I'm turning like, okay, my kid's in the car with me. Okay. You just don't even know. And so it brings in this whole question of, am I safe just going out? Can I get in the car and go somewhere?
Right.
What's on? Yeah. So it just.
You're fearful for all people, but what made me emotional at that moment was not the fear of jail, because I'm very aware of what's going on and I have nothing to hide. I have no record at all. My life is dance and entertainment and focused on that, and not saying that those people don't commit crimes, but I'm just not one of those people concerned about me being in anything.
Right.
The concern and thought came from, my God, in this situation, how many of my brothers and sisters have went down for this? One of the officers tell me, well, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, what do you expect? The white man tells us that a Black man did it. We're not going to pull up a bunch of white guys to look at.
I'm like, why should you be pulling up anybody to look at? Is it that serious?
And why the guns?
Why the guns?
Okay.
They have pictures of my Facebook and everything. And then, you give me a case number when this is all over. I'm assuming you found out and you got the wrong guy.
Yeah.
And you try to give me a pat on the back, and, when we're looking at an ongoing investigation and here's a case number, you may have to show up in court, which is a lie. That was a case that I would have went downtown with you guys, correct?
Yeah.
You were wrong. You don't know how to feel, because you made a complete scene. Both sides of the street were packed up. There were about 8 cars here and about 10 on this side. Everybody had all types of rifles. I mean, I felt like I was in the ending scene to set it off. Like, I felt like, like, I just felt like, well, wait. And as you can see on the video, I'm backing up. And I'm telling myself, like, this is ridiculous. I'm constantly screaming that I have a patient in the back seat. He is unable to comprehend everything going on, so just be cautious. Well, he wasn't getting out of the car fast enough, so they drew guns on him as well. And he has behavior and explosive disorder also, so just to me, it could have been a bad scene.
Really? Really? And why the guns? Why the guns? I mean, it was a check.
I wanted to know. Well, they said it was high profile, and they've been looking for a ring of these individuals for a long time, and they needed to make sure that they proceeded with caution, but there was no compassion. There was nothing. And had I went down and up when the other officer was yelling it and the other one was yelling something different, I probably wouldn't even be able to do this interview. Then would have been another young black man shot. And then you guys would have been able to pin all of the fake evidence and say, well, Jason was a part of this. And here's the pictures of him at the store.
Yeah.
Now we can't even go to the grocery store.
Right.
Because a homeless white man, and I didn't say homeless, the detective said he was a homeless white man. And they told me they had pictures of me hanging around a homeless shelter with homeless people.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
You know, that was the part that completely blew me away.
That's just laughable. That's, I mean, really? Like, you're really like into, this is like a check.
That's what I told them. I had video of saying it. So this is what you're telling me. And I didn't even know it was a homeless white man. And then they showed me some guy who looked like he'd been through hell and back. And you saying that I'm driving him around in my vehicle with my patient while I'm at work?
Yeah.
And we're hanging near the rescue mission?
Right, right. I'm just like, for real, if this is my like racket, this is my cracks, like it's gonna be put together better than this. Okay. I mean, really listen to what you're saying. Okay, this person, this is what they said, and oh my gosh. Right.
I mean, no disrespect, but not a lot of people deal with checks like that anymore. But I mean,
that look on your face, right? You're just like, really? Checks?
Yeah, you know.
It's bigger than that these days, you know. Oh my goodness.
To go through that, I didn't even want to leave the house. I wasn't getting my haircut. This is my first time like really getting out. And to know that every time you see a cop car, you're like, well, wait a minute. It's gonna be like, you know what I mean? I don't know. And then you don't even know. And I had so much respect for the blue. But like I said, you can't say that that's the entire police department. But look at the news. Just maybe 4 or 5 days after that, you guys shoot a guy in his back 7 or 8 times.
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, and also I'm sure you already know people. We all know people. If we are Black or we know Black people or been around or live with them or dance with them, we already heard their stories.
Mm-hmm.
PWB, Driving While Black, has been something that we've coined for a long time. This has been something that, like you said, has been happening forever. And now that we have cameras, there's proof. And people are starting to take notice. And people that are saying, see, this really has been happening.
But you want to know the part that, I mean, we would love to believe that now we can see, but now it's able to be covered up. There is no justice being served for a lot of these crimes. So it's in an instant, we have the cameras now, for us to all see into March and for the justice system to do nothing. And we want to believe that there will be justice, so we march and we tell people we bond together and this is what we're going to do. But are we really making progress, or are we really making mess? Are voices being heard to make a change, or is it going on a deaf ear?
I don't know. I think you got to make some noise. Things take change sometimes slowly and in phases, and it's not like a straight, it's kind of like
at the end of the day, how much
yeah.
You know what I'm interested in? I'm interested in what's going to come out of this for you as an artist, Jason. You know, how this will.
I haven't done any work yet because I'm allowing it to simmer. I suppress things, and by suppressing things, it could be good and bad. But my creative juices are flowing. There's so many directions in which I would like to take, and there's so many things that I definitely think that people should be prepared for, and they are coming. And I have a lot of people supporting me and behind that. And then, like you said, if you watch the work and it is powerful, as you say, then you should know.
That's the thing about artists, is that we do have that power to move people, inspire people. People might now be listening to us talk for as long as we've been speaking and wonder, why are we not talking about dance? But it's all connected. Dancers and artists are always creating what's happening right now in their souls and in their worlds. And it's all too connected. The DanceFest, the SF International Hip Hop Dance Fest has hosted a platform for many dance companies to come and talk about social issues, including police brutality. So yeah, it's all relevant. Mm-hmm. So as artists, when Brandy and I said we want to do a podcast, my first thing when I said what I want to call it, I said I want to call it respect, because I think that is one of the most important words as artists that we can hold true to ourselves and for each other, and expect from everyone for us as professional artists, as professional dance artists. So my question to you, if we could just kind of go into like a little bit of the dance world, Jason, is how do you think in your professional career so far, have you experienced either respect or the lack of it?
Redirect the question again. You're saying as far as respect in the dance world, have I been respected, or is that what you're saying?
Or disrespected. And so what if somebody was to ask me that, I would say, you know, like there's a lot of days where I have to be on the phone and explain to people why these dancers that you want to hire need to be paid, or
of course, yeah.
You know, why I have
that's important, because especially in the dance world or any world, I just want to speak on dancing specifically. To me, it's insulting to certain dancers, not certain dancers or artists, being underpaid. These people want people to do so much, and you guys feel like they could do it for pennies. And to me, that's disrespectful, especially for someone who has built a resume or worked up time, or anybody that's going to put forth any artistic direction or work towards something. So I think all dancers at some aspect or another encounter some form of disrespect like that. When I started earlier on years ago in 2006 and everything like that, when I didn't have it figured out, that was probably when the most disrespect was there, because you had no name, you had no work, you had nothing there. And that's really hard for dancers coming into this dance world, because you're encountering a world and people don't know who you are. And in my opinion, it's all about who you know in this day and time. Back then, as opposed to then, it was about your work ethic. You had to work up that, and we respected that. Now it's about social media and the followers and what's going to get attention. And we live in a day and time where things aren't meant to last. Cars aren't lasting, relationships aren't lasting, groups aren't lasting. Things now in this day and time aren't meant to last. So I think that the respect is there for me now. But I think at the beginning, for anybody, if no one knows who you are, they don't pay as much attention. But you got to work 10 times harder, especially if you want them to.
Well, I remember when I know you applied at least a couple times.
Yeah, twice.
Twice before you finally were booked. And the year you were booked, you know, you were just so humbled by the fact that the DanceFest was going to fly your company out, put them in a hotel room, feed them. And I don't think that you had ever had that respect before and been treated that way.
We have encountered a few trips like that, but once again, every experience is different. Just because we had been treated like that doesn't mean that we can't appreciate it next time. And that's so important, to stay humbled. I think it's cool for people who experience it for the first time. It always is, you know, gratifying, especially for you guys who are doing it. But my group is one of those people, no matter how many times we're flown out across the country, we've done Vegas, New York, all these other places, people want to see loyalty, and we appreciate that. And every time that somebody books us in that fashion, we appreciate it, because that is the respect that you give. You want to show, and you guys want us to cut up, especially the way that we cut up. And our thank you to you guys was cutting up on that stage every night.
For real.
And we made our presence known, and I think at that moment it was you scratched my back, I scratched yours, and just thank you so much for that opportunity. And my dance team had a wonderful time in San Francisco, and we appreciate it. And hey, more to come.
Yeah, indeed, you did cut it up. And
Yes.
we're really humble, though. Brandy, I don't know if I told you this, but my booking manager is talking to Jason and saying, well, how many rooms do you guys want for your hotel? And he's like, oh, no, we all like to be in the same room. And she said, no, you can't put like 10 people in.
You know, that's how we are. We, no matter how big the house or the hotel rooms are, we always kind of end up coming together. Loyalty's like a big family. It doesn't matter what it is. It's not just a show. We always together. So, you know, we didn't need a bunch of rooms, in our opinion. We just wanted to get out there and do what we do. And
y'all did it too. Y'all did it.
We got them.
We appreciate that.
We had to. We're not going to put all these children that are dancing. They need to sleep on a bed. We got them, you know, 2, 3.
Yeah.
It was funny though.
So the Black Panther piece, I mean, I like how Loyalty Dance Team takes these pieces that are so familiar in terms of the theme to everyone, you know, like how you did the kind of Suicide Squad piece, and there's also like the Marvel piece, right? And like everybody knows that. So, I mean, it could be a little intimidating to be like, oh, I'm gonna take this thing that's familiar to everybody and do it my way. But y'all do it and you kill it and people love it. And so I want to hear a little bit about like the background of Loyalty Dance Team and, you know, a little bit of the history and the style. Cause the style, I'm always like, drop a beat. Where's the bass? Get down low, you know, stomp to the beat. So that's Loyalty Dance Team speaks to my heart. So tell us about, you know, history, background, style.
Loyalty started actually in 2006. And it started because there was an audition for BET at the time. There was a television show called 106 in Park, and they were casting in Nashville, Tennessee. And I was one of the people that I was like, hey, you know, I had no experience. And I was like, I watch the show every day. Why not? And I made it through the first audition, which was in Murfreesboro, which is where Loyalty is. But you had to go to the bigger city, which is Nashville, and compete against all these other dancers from across the state. And made the team. I was with the Nashville team, but there was a few of my members in Murfreesboro that didn't make it, and we didn't even know each other at the time. And they said they wanted to start their own group. And the Nashville team actually got booked for an airing date, which was a few months after that. And I gave up that airing date, and I said, well, I'm gonna go ahead and work with the Murfreesboro team that's coming together. And we came together, and I told them, look, I just gave up my spot. So if we're going to do this, we got to be loyal to each other. You know, we were Loyalty Dance Team. We started out just getting booked at parties and turning up the parties. And then next thing you know, his name was Pat Charles, one of the creative directors with 106 in Park. He was a talent scout at the time. Awesome man. And Big Mike, who is an ambassador over at Velato Footwear. They seen us in Atlanta at an Auburn Fest, and the next thing you know, we were on stage in New York City at the Symphony Space Center. And we got put on stage to compete against, I think, like 20 teams from across the country they found. Wow. And little country old Loyalty Dance Team, first time ever, kicked butt. And, you know, next thing you know, we took off from there. And that's kind of how it started. Explaining the style of Loyalty Dance Team. It's aggressive, it's powerful. A lot of my dancers have all been told, no, you don't look right, you don't fit in, you don't belong. And we all know what happens when you tell somebody they can't do something. The fight comes out so much more in the dance. And a lot of people, pieces are completely different from ours because that's their experience. And when we apply what we know, we throw a twist on it. Part of the reason of picking something like a Black Panther or Marvel is because me being the director, I'm totally into Marvel. I love things like that, but I know that it's gonna be something difficult. And in my opinion, when you pick a theme, it makes it that much harder because it places you in a box. Music has to coincide, choreography, costuming, things like that can make it difficult as opposed to just throwing on t-shirts and jogging pants and saying, let's go. And it's so much more fun. So we appreciate that aspect of it. And they go to another place, and when they have a character, in my opinion, they do better. It's like when they have a character to take on, we study it, we watch the movies, we do all that kind of stuff, and we just kind of take it on and we have fun like that.
Right on.
Yes, they dance with their whole bodies like they do in the South. I'm from the South too, so I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And I like how accepting and loving you are of your community, Jason, and of your dancers, and that you do see everybody up there dancing, representative all sizes and everybody, and it's inspirational. That's the one thing I think of my 22 years of producing the DanceFest and curating the SF International Hip Hop Dance Fest, is that people appreciate seeing a diversity of people on stage. You know, how nice it is to not see a bunch of, like, you know, skinny bodies. Nothing wrong with skinny bodies, but just give us something else, something we can relate to, you know?
Variety, variation, colors, right? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm all about that too. I'm all about that. And I love building confidence. I love letting them know that you can, no matter what, you can do it. Because I was told no, like I told you at the beginning, until I changed my no into a yes. And if you don't feel that the path that you're going down is respecting you, you create your own and they will follow. And that's what I believe in. And those people who said no, they're on the phone like, hey, do you mind? And I'm like, yeah.
You're like, let me see if I have space in my calendar.
Yeah.
Right. So you applied twice to the festival, and then the third time you applied, you came. Is that correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you
actually, the festival has sent this thing to one of our pages at the time. And then I didn't even really know what it was. I think the first time we met were late or something. And I was like, I really want to do this. So the next year I was trying to be on time. And then you guys were like, not at this time. And I was like, okay, cool. So the third time, Jeremiah, my co-captain, who's always, he handles all of the social media pages. So Jeremiah is the one, like the Instagram stuff, he's on that. I don't do none of that stuff. I don't got the password. He does all of that. And he wanted to make sure that we got that experience. And I was like, well, what is it? You know, and he was like, well, let's just send these videos. I was like, okay, send these and these and these, and then let me know. And then next thing you know, you guys were like, look, let's do this. What can we do? Can we do that? And we were like, okay. And it's a long process for the Hip Hop International Dance Fest, just to let everybody out there know. It is definitely a process because they want it to be lengthy or they want it to be like this. So you gotta come with your A game coming out there. You dance with people from all over the world.
Right, and we have about usually around 100 applicants, and from all over the world. And so from that, I'm literally looking at all of these applications and trying to decide what's going to be the best, most diverse, most wonderful and inspiring and delicious set of performances for the festival. And then you came 2 years in a row after that. You were hired 2 years, right?
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. The third time, it was, you know, one of them, they had lost. It was a lot going on, and we was just like, look, we'll take a break, but you know, we'll be back. We'll definitely be back. I knew that and this is just me being, like you said, being confident. I knew that if we put the work ethic in, that's some of the times that you got to be persistent. If the people see you once, that's all we need. Loyalty. That's all we need is we get that door open one time. Ain't no closing it. And I believe in that. I believe that it takes a few to open the door for many. And I told them, if we let them see us one time, I'm telling you, they're going to be like, look, we got to have that party show.
That's right.
We got to have that party. It was even when we didn't come that time. It was people that was, you know, wanting to know, hey, what's up? Like, what's going on?
Well, you know, because I tend to bring a lot of things that are, you know, that cause people to think or to feel. Mm-hmm. And sometimes to have loyalty is just like to be happy to be alive. To watch you all dance is just like joyful. And we need that too. That's important.
Mm-hmm. We'll be back. We will definitely be back.
Yes. You know, sometimes like helping with the Dance Fest, I have to be out in the lobby, and Loyalty Dance Team is one of those those performances where like you're out in the lobby and you hear what's going on and you hear the audience response and you're like, I'll be right back. And you gotta like run in to see what's happening, right? Because you're just like, something is going down.
You might miss it. And I'm all about that. I'm all about taking the audience on a journey, because a lot of times when we're at a show, some pieces are heartfelt, thought-provoking, and just so many different things. And we have moments like that as well. But in my opinion, for us, it is a moment to wake the people up. Not saying that anybody is asleep from what they're doing, but I want to definitely get your whiskers going. I want you to get that tingling sensation where you are about to lose your mind, where you like gotta be like, let me get up. Where you gotta snap the wig off because you really don't know how to feel. I love that.
Right.
And that's what we bring.
Oh, chills. You get chills from watching the video, so you can only imagine the live show.
I think it's so much better live. What do you think? I think it's so much better live. I think videos does us no justice, but people love them. But
well, you got all those costumes and the makeup and everything.
Yes. And so you have all of that. So I mean,
a lot of that stuff, y'all, a lot of the stuff, believe it or not, one of our first ladies, my best friend Toe, the one with really long hair, a lot of those moments, Boo Boo, one of the dancers, a lot of those moments where somebody jumped off the stage or flipped off, those are just off of adrenaline. Believe it or not, you can even watch the footage that we sent you before. That may not even be in a piece. They go off of, if you guys are amping them up, I don't know what you're going to see. I'm going to be honest with you. It's a lot of stuff that I'd be like, wait a minute, that was not in there. They're just going, they are true performers.
They going rogue.
Yeah, remember one time a guy was like, wait a minute, are you guys flipping off of the stage? What is happening? They go off of it, and the more that the crowd is in tune, you know, their minds, they are performers. I don't know. They may snatch a wig off and have another one on under it. I really don't know. That has happened before. If you watch our stuff, that has happened before. And me being the director, like, wait a minute, we did not rehearse that. I'm still in choreography, like, what's going on? So,
oh my gosh. And so like, yes, y'all have like high energy pieces, acrobatics, costumes, like full on costumes, right? And I think people who've just been in like a little costume with, you know, some heavy earrings or stuff, it's like stuff can go wrong, right? And so you're combining all those things and taking these huge risks. So like, when are times where like it just didn't go as planned? You know, you telling me about the rogue acrobatics, but like tell me about when like you were like, oh no.
Hey, there were times on stage. I mean, there were a couple actually at the DanceFest. No one knows. It's part of being professional.
That's right.
You get what I mean? You don't know when we sprained an ankle, or you know, one of our flyers, Jeremiah, Tristan, or Prodigy has completely dislocated something, or one of the girls, because I teach the girls to be just as strong as the boys. There are times where things just do not go right, but they have had so much practice with this, and they have been around so much, you know, performing in events that they know the show must go on. There were times when we left things and we had to improvise. We were running all up and through San Francisco because one of my dancers did not bring their costumes for that entire weekend.
Oh my goodness.
You guys would have never known, but we were at the stores and, you know, and Ubers, and we were all over the place trying to make it work because the show must go on. So there are tons of times where we are feeling the pressure and things are not going right, but you guys won't know, you know what I mean? Because it's a part of loyalty, you know? So it has definitely happened. We've had broken toes and wrists and all types of stuff, but the show must go on. That's how
imagine with you guys, especially now that you've told me that the spontaneity just happens every once in a while. I cannot.
Yeah, you know, you like, Jason, you can't do that. And then I'm like, I'm gonna be honest with you, Micaya, I don't know if you guys are amping them up. And you know, I noticed even with the past few shows, Micaya's show, you know, the people, they'll give like a big round of applause or be in the seat and yay. But loyalty, you know, from what the guests were telling me and some of the other workers, they made people react in a way that has never been done before. And I'm like just shocked. I'm like, man, y'all been doing this for years. They like, man, y'all have done something completely, and the team appreciates that aspect. Right. We do it for the applause, literally. Like when Lady Gaga said that, we literally do it for that. It's like a drug. It's a high. You know, when people are losing their minds and reacting in ways they have never reacted before. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to touch parts in your senses that you've never felt before. A climax.
I love it. It's raw. It's beautiful. Just for the record, my dancers and my dance company listen really clearly. Never do that in my piece. I will kill you. Never. Yeah. No, I can't.
Don't mess up our vision. With me,
control freak.
with me, listen, if the picture looks good and you got something in it to make it look better, let's go. Boom.
Respect it. I respect it. I'm just saying I'm too much of a control freak. Look, we got to wrap this up. Jason, yes. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Honestly,
thank you.
We wanted so much to talk to you, but we also wanted, if you were comfortable, you know, and you said you were, to share what happened to you. My arms are virtually around you right now and just holding you tight. I'm so glad that you're safe and that you're with us when you're alive.
And I appreciate you guys all the way out in California and all over the world. I've seen the messages. It is absolutely insane, and I appreciate it. Yeah. And we will be back to the International Dance Fest bigger and better than ever. And I'm assuming we'll figure it out. Since this Chadwick Boseman thing, I think Black Panther would definitely be something to bring back to the people in honor of him. And maybe something new or different. We definitely will talk. And I appreciate you guys. Once again, I definitely got to go, but I'm so glad that I was able to do this for you guys. I got my people here, and you know, and Ollie, and we got to wrap it up.
All right.
So thank you. Okay.
All right. Hi, Jason. Yeah, you know, we are doing a little clip of loyalty. Maybe we'll have to do the Black Panther, the piece, you know, a little bit of that for the show. We're doing, you know, some of our favorite pieces, little montages and whatnot, Brandy, and we're going to do some new stuff for the festival. But that was fun. That was deep. That was a lot of things. I felt like I went through a journey. I needed like a green tea right now or something.
That was awesome. I mean, it's just like every week, I feel like it's gonna continue to build, you know, just in terms of the enjoyment everybody's getting out of it and getting to reminisce about DanceFest. And yes.
It's a journey. It's a journey. So next week, our guest is going to be Faye from
Oh, yay! What? Okay. Oh, dang. Oh, we're going to have fun on that one.
I think I'm going to give her an allowance of one cuss word.
Per.
You think she's going to be able to handle it, or should I just say none?
I don't know that we should, like, censor her. I don't know. That she's lit. I mean, that's, oh my gosh.
But she can be lit and not.
That's true. And you know what? I think her birthday is this month.
She just had a birthday.
Okay, all right.
Your birthday's coming up.
My birthday's coming up. Yes. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but it's coming up.
Oh, man. Anyways, everyone, thank you. We're wrapping up. Thank you for tuning in to episode 2 with Micaya and Brandy. And we love you. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Much respect.
Love.